All right, what's up, YouTube? This update for the series of my Top Step eval working its way to getting funded and getting paid out. I'm doing this for educational purposes, because again, I don't like to trade small size like this, but for the sake of the community and just kind of sharing like how we can take, our systems and of trading and to still get ourselves to the funded phase, even if we are trading micros. Takes a little bit longer, but process over profits, and it's worth it in the long run of developing the right skill sets. Now, unfortunately, I can't share with you guys the way that I shared it last time because I was having a lot of technical difficulties today with my camera and my mic and all that. Discord community knows my struggle right now because this is my third or fourth video of the day already, but I finally fixed it. So I'm looking to at least bar replay this and show you guys, and I'll show you the profits made, very similar to the last one as well. But today over the New York session, I took with MNQs as usual, sticking to the consistency of three MNQs and working my way through and trimming. And I will explain a little bit more on that later. But as a bar replay, I want to show you essentially what I was looking for today. As we opened off the New York session, which is marked here as NYO, which is the New York opening print, we had our move up after some obviously good news during the pre-market. As we moved our way towards the upside, I still had not taken any trades. What I was looking for was a short. And although you might say to me, Alan, why would you be looking to short when we're on the larger time frames, we have such a large move to the upside, and that we're trending, right? So for myself personally, I'm always ready to take both ends. I think in this kind of situation, I will take what the market gives and I will see what the market structure looks like. And so there was a solid long play that was at play here today, and I did call that on the Discord. I personally didn't take it because I was done with my accounts today already, and I'm kind of easing back in after taking about a week off the market. So anyways, getting right into my specific trade setup here. As we can see here, I've already pre-marked everything. This first bar here was my signal bar. So I looked at this fail to go higher as a double top off of the overnight session, which then is where I took my entry bar to follow right afterwards, was a very solid one. And I had already preset everything, right? I had my first trim at 1R for 20 points. And I'll just mark it here as well here just so that you guys can see where the points came in. Basically, my stop loss was above the candle high there. And so my trim was about 1R, followed by a second trim at 2R. And then for the last one, I closed out at 4R. And so in this move, I did not move my stop loss. Basically, for me, after the close of the New York opening print, I was willing to move my stop loss down to 1R. However, the move was fairly quick, to be honest. So I got my 4R and I walked. Now, in part of this, and I guess I should show you just so that you guys know. I don't know if I can zoom this in any further. Oh, there you go. You can. So you can see there, that's the profits made for today and leaving my account at $900 in profit now. Again, eval, got ways to go still before we make our way towards the eval being passed, but want to just share that with you. Now, kind of going into more of the analysis of things here. I know there are questions asked, Alan, why do you trim? What's the point? Know that I don't always trim. This is for the sake of education. If you want to see and turn the clock back to when I started, practicing the craft and trying to hone my confidence, this is how I did it, right? I took trims so that I could secure some profits and give me the confidence to hold for those larger moves. Over time, as we put those reps in, we'll get the sense of, hey, you know what? I think I kind of got a hang of this, right? I got my setups that I like, and for the most part, probability wise, I can get 2 to 3R fairly consistent. I don't want to say all the time, but fairly consistent. As you build that confidence through those trims, you can either choose to start holding for those larger moves for with the full size of your position, or you can size up over time as well and still follow the reps of trimming until you can get the confidence to hold for those larger moves. I know our multiple is important, and I personally think that if we want to get to that stage, it does take some time to build the confidence. Some people have the skill set to be able to just simply take the trade and hold and take the losses as they come, and that's totally fair. But I also know a lot of traders out there that need that bit of confidence in order for them to build the reps in, because if they take too many losses early on, it gets super discouraging. Then they start strategy hopping, tilting, doing crazy stuff, right? And I'm sure many of you guys can relate to this. So I don't think there's a silver bullet to refining your craft. I'm just saying one of the ways to do that is through trimming. I actually kind of got into the concept of trimming early on in my days when I used to be in Stock Market Wolves Discord back in 2021, watching trims play out and holding those runners for those larger moves. I think this is a great way for us to develop confidence. And over time, when you have built the confidence, if you want to hold those full size to larger, then we can do that. And understand that when I say over time, I don't mean a couple days or over a couple weeks. Again, to each their own. I personally didn't start holding full size positions for those 2, 3 R moves until probably after my first year. So it's just my 2 cents on this. I just want to share. Anyways, this is kind of the pathways to that. The long trade that I called out, which I haven't marked here, but I did mention in my Discord, or the Discord that I'm a moderator in, was the capture of this move right here. We tested Globex, which is our overnight period as well, for longs, which served as a really good point for us to take to the upside. As we can see over the current market right now, if you're trading already, you can see that we did make our moves up and to break all-time highs. And so obviously, if you were to have been able to capture this move, I'm not going to say to bottom ticket, but even if you were to capture it up here, I mean, it would still have been a fairly large move to the upside, like to all-time highs. That's about a 160 point move to the upside, right? So that was the long that I mentioned, and it was the long that played out the best, to be perfectly honest. Even though I didn't trade it, I'm okay with it. I've been doing this for a fair amount of time that I'm comfortable watching trades work out, even if I'm not in them. If anything, I just add that to my notes so that I know from a probability perspective, the next time I see a setup similar to this, I know that it has a higher probability for a trade next time. So, anyways, apologize for the way that I had to show it this time. It was not ideal. I wish the recording worked out better. But I'll next time I hopefully I won't have any of these issues. I'll continue to share the journey of how to trade these micros on Top Step to get myself to the funded phase. Until next time, thanks guys for tuning in.